We were working with Feed Management Systems in their ration balancing program, FRB. And we were doing amino acid balancing with that, but we weren't confident in the numbers that we were getting as far as metabolizable protein, methionine, and lysine levels. So Central Valley Nutritional Associates had a program, Formulate 2, and Feed Management Systems incorporated that into their feed ration balancing system. Once we started amino acid balancing with that, we were getting more predictable numbers in methionine predicted milk, lysine predicted milk, and that translated over into seeing that in actual production that we were getting with our customers.
Ration formulation is oftentimes at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. Most of the daylight hours are spent on farm. So most of the time I'm in boots, walking with the animals and the operator to get a better understanding of the operation. Ration formulation is the heart of my business. As I spend time collecting information from my client, through interviews, through forage analysis, through my interpretations and looking at animal body conformations, stools, and things of this nature, I then use the software as my tool to take that information and put it into rations, nutritional rations that make sense for the client, both economically and to achieve production goals. I started working with Feed Ration Balancer about 8 years ago. And my experiences have been nothing but good. The software has been written very cleanly. It is easy to assign nutrient restrictions to certain classifications of livestock and come to a solution very, very rapidly. It gives me a good look at how components fit together, how to mesh their forages into the ration, and to do it to my restrictions. In other words, it's a very open software in that I can apply my nutritional preferences to the software and come to answers for my clients very quickly. It's important that you have software that is compatible with the manufacturing facilities that you work with. No mistakes would be made if your software matches the ingredient-based library of the manufacturing facility that you use to build your final dairy products. Actual preparation of rations has to go easy. It has to be something that is user-friendly, something that can be done in an expedient amount of time and back to the client.
We're a 125 cow parlor freestall operation here. It's located in central Minnesota. Since we've started on the amino acid balancing, we've backed off on protein in small steps. And we've done about 2 steps now. Each step is about 20 cents savings. So right now we're about 40 cents savings from where we used to be per cow per day. We were about 75-pound tank average. We're now running about 82-pound tank average at about 200 days in milk. I consider that quite significant. Cows are healthy and the components have held.
The thing that I like the best about Formulate 2 is that it gives me a starting point in regard to my nutrition. The amino acid calculator that is the heart of Formulate 2 is totally compatible with FRB. I can work within FRB with most of my clients or transfer or import databases on diets and or ingredients and use the calculator off to the side with actual diets that I have had over a period of time. I'm able to very quickly load in my existing lactation diet and through the calculator get a very accurate picture of the amino acid balance and load. And then I can work to formulate that ration for either cost savings or for more optimal performance.
We have a high side and a medium side to our ration. On the medium side or the mid side, amino acid balancing is very important to get a balanced ration that's economical and yet maintains production and helps them put on weight so they are ready for the dry period. Amino acid balancing is really working good for that.
I've used many other balancing rations in the last 20 years. I found out Feed Ration Balancer is very user-friendly. I think it's very farmer-friendly.
Since 1857, this farm's been here and in the family name. third generation dairy farm going into the fourth generation. I farm with my brother John and his son and my son Kyle. You know, it's a tough business, and I want to keep Bennett Farms here in the future. You got to be looking at new ways to save money. So I'm usually challenging Mike to do something to lower our feed costs.
Every day when I go out on the farms, I carry my notes with me so I know what we talked about, what we accomplished, what needs to be taken care of on that farm. And that night, I'll be on FRB looking to see, what we need to change. It's a constant endeavor keeping up with the farmers. On the Bennett farm, we started with amino balancing. We started in a transition program. At first, I wasn't really sure on this. Is it another, like fairy dust program and stuff like this?
It was one of them things that Mike said, I got a way I can lower your protein costs. We just gradually work it into the herd.
Probably in the last month, we've really reduced crude protein. We dropped probably 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds per cow. When his brother told me, I said, we need to drop a little bit at a time. And he said, I already dropped at the full rate. But the milk slip hasn't missed a beat. And I was, wow. That was it. Bennett's are a big example of why I think if you're not balancing for amino acids now, you're doing a disservice to your customer, because I think it's a positive. It's a money saver. It's a profit maker.
Since we started feeding an amino balanced ration, we're 5 to 10 pounds higher on the peaks than we were a year ago. High side cows now are producing better, and what used to be moving cows from the high to the low when they were 65, 70 pounds, now we're pushing them to the low side at 75, 80 pounds.
Every farm that I've put them at the numbers where they tell me where that numbers have to be, I'm dead on milk production. I mean, I'm not within 2 pounds of being off on milk production.
The best thing I like about feeding it is the lower feed cost, close to 40 cents a day per cow. It saved us in protein. It's a lot nicer to go out, mix feed, instead of putting 450 pounds of meal in for the high side, we're down to 350 pounds of meal with the high side, which means the feed truck's not dropping off as much every month, which means the bill at the end of the month is lower too. The cows are healthier. They seem to have a better coat of hair on them. They're chewing their cud, they're producing milk, and my vet bills aren't as high as they have been in the past.
No two farms are the same. If you go out there and think it's a cookie cutter, it's not. What each farmer wants is different. And I think with the Formulate 2 core components, that really helps you get where you need to be. And I tell guys in amino acids, this is where the future of milk production is going.
FRB and Formulate 2 core component sets me apart from my competition in that it gives me the ability to accurately predict milk production from amino acid balancing.
So when you work with an amino acid balancing program, you have the opportunity to rearrange your amino acids and put them in balance with each other so that you can lower the crude protein levels in the diet.
It's very important that you get every little bit of it right to make that farm profitable.